1 Corinthians chapter 7. Now, concerning the matters about which you wrote, it is well for a man not to touch a woman, but because of cases of sexual immorality, each man should have his own wife, and each woman her own husband. The husband should give to his wife her conjugal rights, and likewise the wife to her husband. For the wife does not have authority over her own body, but the husband does. Likewise, the husband does not have authority over his own body, but the wife does. Do not deprive one another, except perhaps by agreement for a set time, to devote yourselves to prayer, and then come together again, so that Satan may not tempt you because of your lack of self-control. This I say by way of concession, not of command. I wish that all were as I myself am, but each has a particular gift from God, one having one kind, and another a different kind. To the unmarried and the widows, I say that it is well for them to remain unmarried as I am. But if they are not practicing self-control, they should marry, for it is better to marry than to be aflame with passion. To the married I give this command, not I, but the Lord, that the wife should not separate from her husband. But if she does separate, let her remain unmarried, or else be reconciled to her husband, and that the husband should not divorce his wife. To the rest I say, I, and not the Lord, that if any believer has a wife who is an unbeliever, and she consents to live with him, he should not divorce her. And if any woman has a husband who is an unbeliever, and he consents to live with her, she should not divorce him. For the unbelieving husband is made holy through his wife, and the unbelieving wife is made holy through her husband. Otherwise, your children would be unclean, but as it is, they are holy. But if the unbelieving partner separates, let it be so. In such a case, the brother or sister is not bound. It is to peace that God has called you. Wife, for all you know, you might save your husband. Husband, for all you know, you might save your wife. However that may be, let each of you lead the life that the Lord has assigned, to which God called you. This is my rule in all the churches. Was anyone at the time of his call already circumcised? Let him not seek to remove the marks of circumcision. Was anyone at the time of his call uncircumcised? Let him not seek circumcision. Circumcision is nothing, and uncircumcision is nothing, but obeying the commandments of God is everything. Let each of you remain in the condition in which you were called. Were you a slave when called? Do not be concerned about it. Even if you can gain your freedom, make use of your present condition now more than ever. For whoever was called in the Lord as a slave is a freed person belonging to the Lord, just as whoever was free when called is a slave of Christ. You were bought with a price. Do not become slaves of human masters. In whatever condition you were called, brothers and sisters, there remain with God. Now concerning virgins, I have no command of the Lord, but I give my opinion as one who by the Lord's mercy is trustworthy. I think that, in view of the impending crisis, it is well for you to remain as you are. Are you bound to a wife? Do not seek to be free. Are you free from a wife? Do not seek a wife. But if you marry, you do not sin. And if a virgin marries, she does not sin. Yet those who marry will experience distress in this life, and I would spare you that. I mean, brothers and sisters, the appointed time has grown short. From now on, let even those who have wives be as though they had none, and those who mourn as though they were not mourning, and those who rejoice as though they were not rejoicing, and those who buy as though they had no possessions, and those who deal with the world as though they had no dealings with it. For the present form of this world is passing away. I want you to be free from anxieties. The unmarried man is anxious about the affairs of the Lord, how to please the Lord. But the married man is anxious about the affairs of the world, how to please his wife, and his interests are divided. And the unmarried woman and the virgin are anxious about the affairs of the Lord, so that they may be holy in body and spirit. But the married woman is anxious about the affairs of the world, how to please her husband. I say this for your own benefit, not to put any restraint upon you, but to promote good order and unhindered devotion to the Lord. If anyone thinks that he is not behaving properly towards his fiancée, if his passions are strong, and so it has to be, let him marry as he wishes. It is no sin. Let them marry. But if someone stands firm in his resolve, being under no necessity, but having his own desire under control, and has determined in his own mind to keep her as his fiancée, he will do well. So then, he who marries his fiancée does well, and he who refrains from marriage will do better. A wife is bound as long as her husband lives. But if the husband dies, she is free to marry anyone she wishes, only in the Lord. But in my judgment, she is more blessed if she remains as she is. And I think that I too have the Spirit of God. 哥林多前书第7章，论到你们信上所提的事，我说，男不近女倒好，但要免淫乱的事。男子当各有自己的妻子，女子也当各有自己的丈夫。丈夫当用合宜之分待妻子，妻子待丈夫也要如此。妻子没有权柄主张自己的身子，乃在丈夫；丈夫也没有权柄主张自己的身子，乃在妻子。夫妻不可彼此亏负，除非两厢情愿，暂时分房，为要专心祷告方可，以后仍要同房，免得撒旦趁着你们情不自禁引诱你们。我说这话原是准你们的，不是命你们的。我愿意众人像我一样，只是个人领受神的恩赐，一个是这样，一个是那样。我对着没有嫁娶的和寡妇说，若他们常像我就好。倘若自己禁止不住，就可以嫁娶。与其欲火攻心，倒不如嫁娶为妙。至于那已经嫁娶的，我吩咐他们，其实不是我吩咐，乃是主吩咐说，妻子不可离开丈夫，若是离开了，不可再嫁，或是仍同丈夫和好，丈夫也不可离弃妻子。我对其余的人说，不是主说，倘若某弟兄有不信的妻子，妻子也情愿和他同住，他就不要离弃妻子。妻子有不信的丈夫，丈夫也情愿和他同住，他就不要离弃丈夫。因为不信的丈夫就因着妻子成了圣洁，并且不信的妻子就因着丈夫成了圣洁。不然，你们的儿女就不洁净，但如今他们是圣洁的了。倘若那不信的人要离去，就由他离去吧。无论是弟兄是姐妹，遇着这样的事都不必拘束。神召我们原是要我们和睦。你这做妻子的，怎么知道不能救你的丈夫呢？你这做丈夫的，怎么知道不能救你的妻子呢？只要照主所分给个人的，和神所召个人的而行。我吩咐各教会都是这样。有人已受割礼蒙召呢，就不要废割礼；有人未受割礼蒙召呢，就不要受割礼。受割礼算不得什么，不受割礼也算不得什么，只要守神的诫命就是了。个人蒙召的时候是什么身份，仍要守住这身份。你是做奴仆蒙召的吗？不要因此忧虑。若能以自由，就求自由更好。因为做奴仆蒙召于主的，就是主所释放的人；做自由之人蒙召的，就是基督的奴仆。你们是重价买来的，不要做人的奴仆。弟兄们，你们个人蒙召的时候是什么身份， 仍要在神面前守住这身份。论到同身的人，我没有主的命令，但我既蒙主连续，能做忠心的人，就把自己的意见告诉你们。因现今的艰难，据我看来，人不如手速安常才好。你有妻子缠着呢，就不要求脱离；你没有妻子缠着呢，就不要求妻子。你若娶妻，并不是犯罪；处女若出嫁，也不是犯罪。然而，这等人肉身必受苦难，我却愿意你们免这苦难。弟兄们，我对你们说，时候减少了。从此以后，那有妻子的要像没有妻子，哀哭的要像不哀哭，快乐的要像不快乐，置买的要像无有所得，用事物的要像不用事物，因为这世界的样子将要过去了。我愿你们无所挂虑。没有娶妻的，是为主的事挂虑，想怎样叫主喜悦；娶了妻的，是为世上的事挂虑，想怎样叫妻子喜悦。妇人和处女也有分别。没有出嫁的，是为主的事挂虑，要身体灵魂都圣洁。已经出嫁的，是为世上的事挂虑，想怎样叫丈夫喜悦。我说这话是为你们的益处，不是要牢笼你们，乃是要叫你们行合宜的事，得以殷勤服侍主，没有分心的事。若有人以为自己待他的女儿不合宜，女儿也过了年岁，事有当行，他就可随意办理，不算有罪，叫二人成亲就是了。倘若人心里坚定，没有不得已的事，并且由得自己做主，心里又决定了留下女儿不出嫁，如此行也好。这样看来，叫自己的女儿出嫁是好，不叫她出嫁更是好。丈夫活着的时候，妻子是被约束的；丈夫若死了，妻子就可以自由，随意再嫁，只是要嫁这在主里面的人。然而，按我的意见，若常守节更有福气。我也想自己是被神的灵感动了。